All right, so I had this idea. So I saw someone else, a crafter, had built a dice box that was like a dagger that went into a sheath. So the dagger had cutouts for the dice, and then you could sheath it, and it was a box. Which I might be inspired by that idea to make an actual proper dice box. But what I actually took from that was a packaging idea. It's really, I make dice, and I could just throw them in a bubble mailer and put in a business card and call it a day. But it turns out that packaging is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to design. It's a lot of fun to make. This is probably a very weird nerd niche in terms of like, the crossover of people who make stuff to sell and people who make it interesting to sell. I don't know, but I had a blast designing it, so I figured I would just run you through what I made. All right, so let's go. All right, here's the initial sketch of what I wanted to do, so let's see if we can turn this into something real. And here you have it, a little laser cut paper version of what I was thinking initially. Now this goes through some iterations after this, but initially it was, like I said, a sword that sheaths into a little slot. You can put the two together, then there should be space in that triangle part to put the dice, and then I could ship the little sword out, and it would be a cute little piece of cardboard packaging to also keep your dice from rattling around too much and from getting lost or getting fallen out of the package or whatever. I mean, it's basically just frickin' adorable. And here you can see me, this prototype was too small for dice, so I just grabbed a pair of earrings just to show you, just drop them right in the slot. And yeah, so that was the basic idea that I started with. So let's see where we went from here. So we did the paper prototype. It was time to move on to larger cardboard prototypes. I did cut a larger one out of cardboard, like so. So it has the little removable sword and the sheath. But what it really came down to was my time and energy. Like, this was a little fiddly to assemble. You can see there's a lot of extra tape on there. And do I really want to spend my time assembling packages all day? When what's probably a lot simpler, and I had to talk myself into it, is having it all one piece. So I cut it out all one piece, and then I can just fold it up, and the dice fit right inside. I'm going to go ahead and cut one fresh for you here, so you can see how it comes out of the laser cutter and how it comes together, and let's take care of that. The laser cut it out of the piece of cardboard. You can see these pieces fell right out, which is exactly what we want. We want it to cut through the cardboard without setting the cardboard on fire. That took a few trial and error tries in getting that setting, but unfortunately it works pretty much across the board, so that's kind of a do it once and never have to do it again puzzle. I'm going to pop the piece out right here, and then there are the lines here, because the laser can also score, so instead of having to cut all the way through the cardboard, it can just score these parts right here to make it much easier to just bend and snap. And that's pretty much the whole piece. All I have to do at that point is put some tape on it, and then drop the dice in and tape off the top, and then I can throw that in a bubble mailer, and your dice are protected. You get a cute little package to go with it, and it's pretty much just a fun little extra treat all around for your dice purchases. Let me go ahead and tape this up, and I'll drop some dice in. Okay, so here we have a huge mess, but somewhere in this mess is the fabled sword of diceness. It's the cardboard sword I was just showing you guys. I just put packing tape on it. I've thought about doing fancier tape too, but at some point we do have to consider expense, and packing tape is inexpensive and abundantly available, so that's what we're going to end up using. Here is our slot for the dice, and then here's the dice I'm going to show you with today. These are my blackest black dice set. It's one of the few dice sets left over from my Halloween release, still up in my shop. So I'm going to go ahead and just drop these right in. and by drop I mean gently push, slightly pre-rolled dice. I'm just rolling all the bad rolls out before I send them to you. It's a very important service that I provide. Okay, and it's nice that they fit really snugly in there. They pretty much go from top to bottom, and that way, again, they're not rattling around loose, banging on things, potentially getting lost. So I just put a little piece of tape right across the top, like so. There you go. And dice packaging. I can just drop this in a mailer and send it on its merry way. Good to go. And that's the whole build today. It's pretty quick. I did most of the design work off screen just because it was actually a process of a couple days in between cups of coffee and doing work because sometimes an idea gets in your brain and won't leave until you do something about it. Sometimes you do something about it and it turns out to be garbage, so that's a lot of fun. But in this case, it is not garbage. It is a beautiful piece of packaging, a dice dagger that you can get in the mail every time you order a set of dice from me. This probably will end up getting turned into a wooden box at some point. Not this design, the previous design with the sheath. It of course requires a little more design work to get it to work and slide together and look really nice because, you know, we're not going to be using packaging tape to hold together a box that requires joining and wood glue and all kinds of fun stuff. I mean literally, it's fun for me, so I'm looking forward to doing that. But at least the idea is out there, the prototype is done, I have it taken care of, and I have fun new packaging to send to anybody who orders dice off of me. So that's been a great time for me. I hope it was a good time for you. Just remember, everybody, masks up and roll high. Have a great day.